Today, this is our amazing Amee Davis of Davis and Associates.
She just went to go.
The only other thing I will tell you right now is there is a big pushback right now by law firms statewide. I'm seeing it on the Georgia Google group for all the attorneys right now. Most of them in more rural areas. The sort of Atlanta market hasn't kind of started this yet. A few people have, I know of. You're going to possibly start seeing more law firms send your buyers a notice that they have to sign that basically says whether they close or not, they're responsible for the title exam. And the reason is because we're having to pay them. I have never had so many cancellations of closings as I have this year. Just terminations of closings. I think it's part of it. Consumer confidence. I think part of it's the rates are fluctuating, and then as the rates fluctuate, they may not be able to buy. Sometimes for people, an eighth of a point makes a difference on whether or not they're so close or so tight that they can, a quarter of a point, whatever makes a big difference. They might not be able to buy the house, or it worries them with the rate going up, or they hear something in the news that freaks them out and they terminate. We've had a lot of terminations of contract this year, and it apparently has been pretty fluid statewide because this has come up quite a bit with the number of cancellations and people canceling contracts and the attorneys getting stuck with the title exams. And then more and more are not ordering title exams until after due diligence. So if you have a long due diligence, you need to have a conversation with your buyer. Are you willing to go ahead and pay for the title exam up front so that the attorney will go in and order it in case there is an issue that we need to handle? And then don't forget that when we're doing title exams, we're running buyers' names, sellers' names. We will find if you have a lien. We will find if you have a judgment against you. People are always like, why are you pulling my credit? I am not pulling your credit. This is all public record. This is all stuff that we have to check as part of a title exam. Bankruptcy stuff, all of that comes up. So if you would just, keep that in mind and, help massage your clients' concerns when they call you and say, this attorney pulled my credit. We do not pull credit. We are checking public records and lawsuits and all the things that we have to do. Which brings me to another point, and I'm only bringing this up right now just because we're kind of on this topic too. If there's a lien against a buyer, we have to leave it on there. And I've talked to all the title companies. Whether the law firms are doing it or not is a whole different conversation. We are required by agency rules to keep if there's a lien against a buyer on the title commitment. I've had this come up 11 times this summer. Because I went back and started pulling the files that we've had this come up on. But what we normally do is put on the bottom of it, this is not superior to the money mortgage lien of the lender, and therefore it's not going to be an exception to the lender's title policy, and the lenders accept it once they know that it's not that. And he's shaking his head, yes, we see it, that's what happens. Yeah, it's the purchase money exemption, but we can't remove the lien off the commitment because we have to fully disclose it to who? The lenders. And so we can't remove that there's going to be a subsequent lien against the property as soon as they buy it on there. Where it does come into play for us is we get a lot of lenders that want us to remove it off, and especially brokers want us to remove it off, but we can't take it off until we know that the lenders have done their part and all that. So it kind of gets a little convoluted. I'm just letting you know because it's come up a couple times lately. But it's just a procedural thing for us as an agency. You have to understand, we handle the title laws, but the title insurance agency determines what their agency rules are for disclosure to the lenders and what we can and can't remove off those commitments. Okay. So like even removing, we'll get every now and then a removal request for remove the mineral rights exception to the title policy. If it's a procedural part, we have to send the title company and they have to approve the removal of that. Make sense? By the way, those of you doing land, mineral rights examinations are 100 years. You have to go back 100 years, and it is more money. So if you have people that are doing land purchasing and they want to check mineral rights, we have to go back a minimum of 100 years on that. Okay? So it's all good stuff. Just so you kind of know. Yeah. And it is more expensive to do because it's not just a regular title exam. It is a mineral rights exam, and that takes a lot longer to do, and it takes more time. And sometimes they end up going back 150 to 200 years, depending on what they can find and tracing it back. Most deeds now, what we try to do in the deed records, if we find a mineral rights issue, we put it on the deed so that it stays with the deed, so that anybody checking the chain of title will see on the deed there's a timber. Y'all have seen the timber rights. I know you have the timber rights language that are on some of the deeds. We'll put timber rights language or mineral rights language on there. And believe it or not, especially in Northwest Georgia, mineral rights are a big deal. So
the best thing to do is get a high-powered rifle and you just shoot the ground and see if oil comes up.
Gold, black gold.
Our Our minerals that we're looking for here aren't typically that. They are actually the stuff that we make the road. What is it called? The stuff we make the roads out of?
Asphalt?
What's
Slate.
the?
Or
Slate.
diamond?
It's the stuff up in Northwest Georgia. It's I can't think of it. It's a
Granite.
weird name.
Do we need the periodic table?
I can't think of it right now.
We need the periodic
So that's one that they'll hold out the rights
Name
on
that
those. It's a
Your last minute, any good
Asphalt,
encouragement
basalt.
yes. Good
Last
encouraging.
minute.
Yeah, good encouraging news is everybody that got their tax bills already knew they were going up, so nobody should be surprised when they get their bills. That's encouraging news because they got that 3 months ago. Actually, what was it we were talking about the other day that you wanted me to that I told you I was going to have a conversation about? I can't remember what it was. Because tax bills came out yesterday and they weren't supposed to come out until today or tomorrow. So that kind of trumped all of that. Good news is I think the economy is picking up. This month has picked up in sales tremendously. August has been a lot busier in sales. So that's really good news for all of us in the real estate industry because I think it's going to be that we're going to see an increase in sales this month over last month because last month was a downturn. Yeah. Any other questions? Any concerns? Any issues?
Just how long is a normal title search just on residential if there's no issues?
It depends on how busy the market is. If the market is super, super busy, it's going to take longer because you have to understand the examiners are examining multiple properties. Typically for us, it's 4 to 5 business days, start to finish. You have to understand ours is a little bit different because we actually have examiners in the title exam rooms. We do not do online searches. Which I might not know is the lender only requires the attorney to go back 2 owners or 10 years. 10 years or 2 owners is all the lender requires for our title commitment. We still do full 50-year searches because when I close a transaction, I don't want y'all to ever call me about a problem again. Like I want it to be done. I want everybody to know what happened on it and I want it to be out there so that it's just done and it's finished because I want it to be complete. And so not everybody still does that. So it should take a full 50-year title search should take 4 or 5 days. 3 at least. Yeah. Because you got to go in there and pull all the deed records and do all of that.
10 years a day.
Huh?
10 years a day.
I mean, it's just a matter of processing it, really. Get all the information. It takes about a couple hours for them to get all the information and then processing it all and putting it in format.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
I got to go back to another closing. Y'all have a great day.
If you like that video, check out the one here. If you like the content on this entire channel, please click here to subscribe. I try to take even the most complicated of real estate situations and make them crystal clear. See what I did there? Real estate made crystal clear. Thank you guys so much for watching.